Have you ever heard of the Russian sleep experiment? It's one of the internet's most infamous and chilling tales, while it's widely considered a work of fiction, a creepypasta. The story it tells is so visceral, so disturbing it has haunted readers for years. Today, we're going to dive deep into this legend. So, turn down the lights, get comfortable, and let's explore the darkness. The story begins in the late 1940s. At the height of the Cold War, a group of Soviet researchers, driven by the desire for a super soldier who wouldn't need to sleep, embarked on a secret and unethical experiment. They recruited 5 political prisoners, enemies of the state deemed expendable, promising them their freedom if they could stay awake for 30 consecutive days. The subjects were sealed inside a gas chamber. This wasn't for execution, but for control. An experimental stimulant gas was continuously pumped into the room to keep them awake. The chamber was equipped with microphones to monitor their conversations, and a thick 5-inch glass porthole allowed the researchers to observe them. For the first few days, everything seemed to be going as planned. The prisoners, believing freedom was just a month away, were relatively calm. They spoke about their pasts, their families, their hopes. Their conversations were monitored around the clock. But by day 5, things started to change. The subjects began showing signs of paranoia. Their conversations grew darker, more fragmented. They stopped speaking to each other and instead began whispering into the microphones, as if trying to win the favor of their unseen captors, turning on their fellow inmates. The researchers believed this was an expected side effect of the stimulant and the prolonged sleep deprivation. They weren't prepared for what came next. On the 9th day, the screaming began. One subject started running back and forth across the length of the chamber, screaming at the top of his lungs for hours on end. He screamed until his vocal cords tore, reducing his cries to pathetic, hoarse squeaks. The other prisoners showed no reaction. They continued to whisper into the microphones until another subject joined the screaming. Then, a chilling silence fell over the chamber. The whispering, the screaming, it all just stopped. For 3 days, there was nothing. Complete silence from within the sealed room. The researchers checked the microphones. They were working perfectly. They checked the oxygen levels. They were normal, consistent with 5 men performing light exercise. The silence was unnerving. Worried that the subjects might be dead or unresponsive, the researchers decided to break their own rule of no direct contact. They used the intercom to announce their intentions. "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor, or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you immediate freedom." A calm voice replied from inside, a voice they had never heard before. It simply sighed, "We no longer want to be freed." Debate raged among the research team. The military funders demanded results and ordered them to open the chamber. So, on the 15th day, the stimulant gas was purged from the room and replaced with fresh air. Immediately, the voices from inside began to plead, almost beg, for the gas to be turned back on. They sounded desperate, terrified of falling asleep. Soldiers were sent in to retrieve the subjects. What they found was a scene from a nightmare. The room was a charnel house. Chunks of flesh had been torn from the subjects' bodies and used to block the drains in the center of the floor, causing several inches of bloody water to pool. Only 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, if you could call it that. The food rations had been untouched for days. It became horribly clear that the flesh clogging the drains wasn't from the dead prisoner. It was from the living ones. They had been eating themselves. The 4 surviving subjects had mutilated their own bodies. Abdominal muscles were torn away, exposing ribs and internal organs. The digestive tracts were still working, digesting their own flesh. It was a sight so horrific that some of the soldiers refused to re-enter the room. The subjects fought back against their rescuers with a strength that seemed inhuman. One soldier was killed, another severely injured. They screamed to be left in the chamber, to have the gas turned back on. It took several soldiers to subdue them. When they were moved to a medical facility, the extent of their transformation was truly understood. They possessed a strength that defied explanation. They fought against sedatives with the ferocity of cornered animals. One subject, while being restrained, had his spleen rupture and bled out. As he died, he just kept screaming one word: more gas. The remaining 3 were taken to surgery to have their organs placed back inside their bodies. But they refused anesthesia. They thrashed so violently against their restraints that they broke bones. They seemed completely immune to pain. One subject was reported to have smiled a horrifying, bloody grin as the surgeon worked on his exposed organs. When the surgeon asked why, the subject just kept repeating, "Keep cutting." After the surgeries, the researcher, "Have you forgotten so easily?" One replied, "We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." The lead researcher, horrified, pulled out his pistol. He aimed it at the remaining subject and asked, "What are you?"
I must know.
The subject smiled, so close to finding out. "Doctor, have you ever wondered what happens when the human mind is deprived of its one true release?" Before the researcher could process the words, the subject's head slumped forward. He had finally fallen asleep, and his heart had stopped. The story of the Russian sleep experiment is a stark reminder of the horrors we can imagine lurking in the shadows of science and the human psyche. It plays on our deepest fears: loss of control, the fragility of the mind, and the monster that might be sleeping just beneath our own skin. It's a tale that, once heard, is not easily forgotten. What do you think? Could something like this, even in a modified form, be up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the dark, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Stay safe out there.